What's up, people? So today is Thursday and it's your teacher of English, Carlos. And today we'll be talking about how to practice your English. Now, this is a very popular question. A lot of people ask me, how do they move on after they have finished like 5 or 3 levels or 6 levels of English course, and they don't know what to do next. Some of them, they even believe that if they have studied for like 1 year of English language, that would be enough. They have learned the language, they have mastered the language, and they know they don't need further practice. But they're absolutely mistaken, because it is highly important to practice your English further on, because it takes a lifetime to practice your language. The most important thing is it's not like riding a bike. You learn to ride a bike, and then you can this is something you will never forget. So language is not like that. When you learn language, it's not like riding a bike. If you don't use it afterwards in whatever ways, you will definitely lose it. All right, so it means you will forget it. So if you're not using it, so you need to practice it somehow so that you don't forget the language that you have learned. And this totally refers to people who speak very many languages, more than 2 languages, those bilinguals or trilinguals or polylinguals or polyglots. Now, if you don't practice any of those languages that you have learned, you will definitely forget it. So what you should do? Now, a friend of mine once texted me on Telegram and asked me the same question, hey, how can I practice my English? I speak English, I know the grammar, I know a lot of things, you know my level, and I'm able to speak the language, but sometimes I just need to practice, a good way of practice. So what can I do? So here are the following strategies that I recommended him, and now I'm recommending you, and I hope that you will use them, and that you will find them very useful, and that will help you practice your language better. So first of all, the most fun way to practice your English is talking to native speakers. Now, how can you do that? If you've taken some courses at some language course, you definitely had some speaking classes. And usually the speaking classes are conducted by native speakers. So you can go to the same courses and just ask them to provide just a speaking club or a conversation club for you, so that you can go and do the blah, blah, blah in English all the time, and that's it. You don't need to study grammar. You just need to focus on the speaking, talking all the time, and doing the English practice. Now, another way you can do this is just go and find a native speaker, become a friend, hang out together, have fun together, spend good time, and you will be practicing your language basically every day. Now, for some people, it might be hard. You might not be able to find a native speaker everywhere you live. So for some people who are very reserved or shy or closed, it might be hard to communicate with others openly. So for those people, for those of you guys, I can recommend watching interesting blogs in English on YouTube, just like my blog. Usually bloggers post their videos weekly, once or twice a week. So you can find a blog which is interesting for you, and you can continue watching it every week. So that will be a good way for you to practice your English. You can watch it, you can listen, you can comment your thoughts below if you have some. All right, and don't forget to comment below to my video, and put a like and subscribe to my videos, to my channel. All right, so, and that will be a very fun way, I think, to practice your English. If you follow a blog that you're interested. For example, if you're a person who is interested in cars, like different models of cars, or in car tests, you can find a lot of videos, video bloggers who post weekly or on different cars that they drive, make a test drive, and you can learn a lot of vocabulary related to test driving or to cars. And all right, that will be a very interesting way for you to practice your language. All right, the second way to practice your English is, now bear with me, this might not be the most interesting way for you to do, for all of you to do so, but reading books by English and American writers. Now, this is a very interesting way if you love reading books. Now, what all you need to do is you need to pick your level and go and choose a book for your level of English. You might be a beginner, you might be an elementary student, you might be upper intermediate student, so you can choose a book up to your level and read it, and it will be interesting for you and quite easy. Now, then you should choose your genre, the genre that you are interested in, and read only that genre which you're interested in. For example, if you're interested in fiction, just read fiction. If you're interested in science fiction, read science fiction. All right, so from the books, you can learn a lot of phrases, including the slang, because books are written in an informal language, in a conversational language, in English, especially the American books. Most of the time I read American books, so that's what I'm saying. But the English books will also be fine, will also do fine. But a lot of people, a lot of students make this mistake when they're reading a book. They think that the more words they learn, the more effective it's going to be for them. But this is the big mistake. Now, if you're reading a book and you try to write down every single new word that you see, that will make you exhausted. Now, it will exhaust you and you will start to hate reading books. So that's not the best way. The best strategy you should be reading books. The best way is to get the keywords. Now, the keywords are the words which are repeatedly used in the story of the book, in the storyline of the book. So you should note down them. And these words you will remember longer because you will repeatedly see them over and over throughout the book. All right, so that should help. Now, the next thing you should do, the final, you should watch films in English. Watching films or cartoons or any animation that you're interested in. Now, a lot of people recommend watching TV series. You could pick a TV series and watch it with subtitles, and that will help you improve your English. Yeah, that's true. You can do so. You can watch, if you're a movie lover, you can go to movies in English and watch all the movies in English. That will help you a great deal. But what I highly recommend and what I think is very, very useful, I recommend watching your favorite movies in English over and over again. Now, why is that important? Because when you're familiar with the movie and when you've heard the words many times, that helps you remember them longer. And if it will be very useful. If you watch the movie and you memorize the words, if you watch the movie so many times that you've already memorized the words, now that would be the most useful way to practice your English by watching films. A lot of people watch movies, different movies, just in English once, and that's it. That's not the most useful thing because you watch it once and you see the subtitles, but you're not able to understand everything and you're not able to follow all the subtitles. Now, this is also a very big mistake. When you're watching a movie, you should not be watching it, looking at the subtitles. That will spoil the pleasure of watching a movie. So please don't do this. Don't look at the subtitles unless you don't understand something. Just enjoy the movie. Now, when you're watching a movie, your favorite movies over and over again, you start to remember the lines. You remember the lines, you memorize the lines, and you remember the key phrases from the words from the movie. And that will help you improve your English. You'll improve your English and improve your vocabulary. Now, I could give you an example. You're probably familiar with the movie Home Alone. So there is a very popular phrase he's using in the movie, when the pizza guy is coming to his house. He's taking the pizza and he gives very little money to the pizza guy, and he says "Keep the change, you filthy animal." So that basically what he's saying is the line of the movie of Home Alone, the first part, I believe. Now, from another great movie is The Godfather. I'm not sure if you watched it, but if you haven't watched it, you should watch it. Is the is the phrase where he says, like, it's repeatedly, it's repeated in the movie many times. It says, like, the phrase is like, I can make you an offer you cannot refuse. So it's quite like that. So it's a very popular phrase, and it's being used in all the 3 parts, or all the 2 parts, I guess. So that's how you can improve your English. Well, that's basically it for today. So see you next time. I hope you wait for my next video on Saturday. I'll be posting it on Saturday. And that's it for today.